This is Halloween. Happy Easter! Since Jesus is the reason for the season, today I'm taking you to church. Enjoy! So the first church we're going to start with is Basilica of St. Mary's, Star of the Sea, located in Key West. In 1850, due to the growing population of Catholics in Key West, Bishop Francis X. Gartland sent Father John F. Kirby of Savannah to Key West. In 1851, Father Kirby began construction of the first Catholic church in Key West. It would be the fifth Catholic church erected in the state of Florida. St. Mary's, Star of the Sea was dedicated by the Bishop Garland February 26, 1852. Unfortunately, from 1850 to 1860, yellow fever plagued the island, and many of the priests who came down to continue the work of the parish ended up succumbing to the illness. And on September 20th, 1901, tragedy struck when the original St. Mary's, Star of the Sea was destroyed by fire with evidence of arson. The new structure, Basilica of St. Mary's, Star of the Sea, was erected in 1904 and dedicated in 1905. The new structure boasts the most beautiful American Victorian architecture, rusticated exterior walls, large arches, lunettes filled with beautiful Gothic arches, and louvered shutters that they keep open during the day for the beautiful weather to come in. And of course, stained glass windows. The structure was built with large concrete blocks made up of poured concrete, which consisted of the oolitic limestone that was dug up from beneath where the church sits. It's a beautiful church, and I hope you enjoy it. Up next, we have St. Mary, Our Lady of Grace, located right here in St. Petersburg, where I'm from. Now, this church was very reminiscent to me of the circular church in Charleston. The construction of it is circular. All the additional rooms on the sides and everything seems to be all in a circular pattern, or octagonal even. When I was in Charleston, if you remember the Charleston video, I was talking about how when I went on the ghost tour there, that they were telling me that the reason why it was built that way is because evil hides in corners. So the construction of the church had everything to do with not allowing evil in. It was an interesting point to me, and really kind of a cool reason behind the architecture. Construction of the St. Mary's, Our Lady of Grace, as it stands today, started in 1929 and was the vision of Father James J. O'Riordan, licentiate of Sacred Theology of the Diocese of St. Augustine and the first secular priest of St. Mary's. The building was styled after San Stefano's Church in Rome, so it's very much of the Roman Catholic design. The beautiful circular building with the clay tile roof sits on 200 feet by 210 feet of property, which was purchased from the estate of General John C. Williams, a founding father of St. Petersburg. Over the years, multiple renovations have taken place. I hope you love the church. Enjoy. Next, we have St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Key West. St. Paul's Episcopal Church was formed by an official act of the City Council of Key West. The original church was built between 1838 through 39. When completed, the building was 38 feet by 58 feet, and the total cost for construction was only $6,500. The original building was destroyed by hurricane on October 11, 1846. When this happened, a second church was constructed, and this one was built of wood and measured 28 by 66 feet. This structure was destroyed by fire in the Great Fire of Key West in 1886. Reconstruction of the church began immediately, and the third church was built and completed in 1887. The new church measured 58 by 98 feet, and it was also constructed of wood. In 1890, the vestry voted to purchase a chime of bells. Once installed, the bells made history by becoming the first chime of bells in the state of Florida. And on Palm Sunday at 10 a.m., March 22nd, 1891, the bells rang for the first time. On October 11th, 1909, exactly 63 years after the first and original church was destroyed, the third building was destroyed by yet another hurricane. Plans for a new church began in 1911. This time, they decided to make the church of concrete. The first service held in the building that you now see today was held on June 8th, 1919. Installation of the beautiful stained glass windows that you see when you walk in today started in 1920, and their beautiful organ arrived just in time for Christmas in 1931. Today, St. Paul's Episcopal Church stands If you've been to downtown Tampa, you really cannot miss the beautiful marvel that is the Sacred Heart Catholic Church. Tampa really began to boom back in 1884 when Henry B. Plant introduced his railroad systems into town, which I talk about quite frequently in some of my other videos too, but that really made Tampa. Also, his introduction of the Tampa Bay Hotel, which is today the University of Tampa. At this time in Tampa's history, the community kind of decided that we really needed to have a Catholic church. There was a lot of immigrants flooding in at the time, and a Catholic church was needed. So plans began for the Sacred Heart Catholic Church. County commissioners deeded the property where the church now sits today in 1850. In 1897, Father William Tyrrell announced that a new church would be built. And on February 16th, 1898, construction began for what would be a beautiful project. The church was dedicated on January 15th, 1905, and the name of it became Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart also became the name of the parish. The church has 70 stained glass windows in it. These were ordered in from Germany. They were manufactured by the Franz Meyer Company of Munich, Germany, and they are ornate as any you've ever seen. Founding pastors, including Bishop John Moore of the Diocese of St. Augustine, and his successors are laid to rest at the St. Louis Cemetery in Tampa. Sacred Heart Catholic Church is the oldest Catholic church in the city of Tampa. It was constructed in Romanesque style, so it really explains the sort of Roman Catholic appeal that it has to it, both inside and out. Marble, beautiful structure. And the original cost to build this marvel was $300,000. So even then, it was quite a big project, and it changed only minor over the years. It has not changed much. It's pretty much the same structure when you go in today as it would have been, 100 years ago. So not much has changed with the property. This one was breathtaking. And when we went in to view it, you could hear monks singing. Now, I don't know if that was live, if there were really monks singing, but it was filling the church with beautiful music. So it was an awesome sight to see. Breathtaking, and definitely something to do and check out if you're here in Tampa. It's pretty much open every single day. I put the hours as well up here for you so that you will know when you can go visit, but it's definitely a sight to see. We're here at Manhattan Avenue Church of Christ, my childhood church. It's where my mom and dad got married. It's where I grew up, and I just thought it would be cool if I'd come through it. The preacher here, Sydney, was kind enough to let us in and have a look around, trip down memory lane. Right here is the stairs, obviously, to go upstairs, but this is where we would, oh, the nursery was up there, that's right, there's a nursery. I forgot about that. So yeah, the nursery is right up there. This is kind of the area where we would all convene before and after church, and that led out into the circular driveway out there. This is the auditorium. Very plain in comparison to what we've seen, but in my opinion, that's all you need. It doesn't matter how or where we worship, just as long as we worship, and it's enough for me. What I love about this church is it's Christian, non-denominational, so just straight Christian. We don't have big band or instruments or karaoke. We just sing straight from the hymnal. The hymnals have changed since I was last here. We pick up one of these and we sing straight from the hymnal, and it's the most beautiful sound. The congregation, when they sing, if I close my eyes and think about it, I could still hear it from back when I was a kid. Right up there is where I got baptized. Right here is where we set up our communion. And here is where they've set up pencil and paper for any guests that come in to put their name and information. Obviously, the pews are worn and weathered. It's an old church, and they haven't done much to renovate, but that's what makes a church special. Not all this grand stuff that you have today. Up here is where the preacher speaks. This is where the two deacons would sit. Anybody else that's speaking. Same chairs as when I grew up. Same carpet, it looks like. Not much has changed. And up here tells you which hymns we're going to sing for the day. So every day they change the hymns up there, and that's how you know which page to turn to. It's beautiful in its simplicity. Go up the stairs and check it out, the nursery. The red stairs have weathered from the sun, light coming into the front window here. They're torn and tattered, but that's the way a church should look. The church is the congregation, not the building. If the tithe is going to the right place, this is about what the church should look like, not all the fancy statues and paint and instruments. So up here is the nursery. Aww. This has definitely changed. They did some mural work up here. I bet they have somebody in the congregation that did that for them. And they're remodeling a little bit in nursery too, probably doing some more murals and stuff. Here's the window we were looking at that looks out into the auditorium. I'll go back down the stairs and I'll show you our little, where we have our potluck. When I was younger, we only had it once a month. Those were my favorite days to come to church, when we'd have the potluck. Fellowship hall. This is where we'd be good fellows. But yeah, when we'd have potlucks, I had many birthdays in here. Growing up, being an adult, it looked so much smaller than it did when I was little. We had many a party in here, many a gathering. And then there's a little kitchen back here. Nothing much has changed. So this is the little kitchen back here. They probably got some new appliances. Look like they got some new appliances. Just what's necessary is the only thing that should change in a church. Everything else, I mean, it's literally just a shelter to worship in. That's all it should ever be. And then back here, we have bathrooms again. And then if you go back in here, these are where the Bible study classes are in this hallway. So there's rooms here. I wonder if I can... No, it's locked. Oh, here's one. So this is where we'll have Bible study. But they're not using that one right now. Another classroom. Some more classrooms. I remember being in here. Judy Erda taught Bible school. And this is where we'd head while the adults had their session in the morning. And then we'd all join together in the auditorium. The adults and the children. These look like the only ones that are in use right now, maybe. These two, they're a little more put together than the other ones. Wow, that's awesome. Lots of memories here. So in honor of Easter, I wanted to show you a cool way you could make deviled eggs. A little out of the ordinary, but the kids are gonna love them. I've got my eggs boiling. I needed 8 for what I'm doing because I have my tray that holds 15 eggs. I got a little foggy there. Over here, I have my Easter egg dyeing kits. I purchased 2 of them because I like for my colors to be a little bit brighter. Not going to be obviously using any of these because we'll be cracking our eggs. We're making deviled eggs. So I've got all the colors here. Each one has 2 tablets in it because I bought 2 kits because I want my colors to be brighter, so I used 2 tablets in each. Takes a little bit of vinegar and some warm water to mix the colors, and these little cocktail cups are perfect for that. And then over here is where we're going to be mixing up our filling for our deviled eggs. I'm sure a lot of you already know how to do deviled eggs, but the whole purpose of this channel is to help people that don't really know how to do it. And deviled eggs are one of the most versatile things you can do. I've got a spicy brown mustard, mayonnaise. You can use any mustard or mayonnaise you want. I have a sweet relish. You can use sweet or dill relish or no relish at all. Everything's pretty much, you can omit one for the other and so on. Dill weed, you can have fresh or dried or none at all. And paprika to garnish. I also have salt and pepper over here. Here's my egg tray I've got ready to go. Basically what the deviled egg, the filling is just mayonnaise, mustard, and the egg yolk itself. A little salt and pepper, but anything you want to add in and make it your own. It's so versatile. I've even done eggs filled with tuna salad. That's what we're doing, and I'm just gonna wait for my eggs to boil over here. My eggs are boiling. When they're done, I'll show you what we're doing. My eggs are all boiled now, so what I want to do with these eggs is I'm just going to roll them, crack them, roll them. You're not peeling them, you just kind of want to crack them all over. Just crack them kind of to where the cracks are everywhere. So this one's nice and cracked all over. And that's what you're going to do with the eggs next. Once I've cracked all my eggs up, I put them right into the color. And we're going to leave them there until we get the desired color. Now my eggs are brown. It's going to be really hard to tell when that color's really penetrated. But I'd say about 10, even 15 minutes if you want them really bright. Go ahead and leave them in there. Let them do their thing. And then I'll show you what we do next. I'm just going to show you how awesome these look. Even though they're brown eggs, they turned out really bright. So I'm really happy with the color. Now you're going to go ahead and peel the eggs. Go ahead and peel them. And then once we peel them, I'll show you what they look like. They all turned out pretty brilliant for brown eggs. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. But that's using 2 tablets. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you have an awesome Easter. It was so important to me to just put something out that reminded me of the season, of the holiday, reminded all of you that Jesus loves you. And I just felt it in my heart that this would be the perfect episode for such a holiday. If you're loving the videos, please remember to like, subscribe, and share them. And I'll see you next time.